Good evening to one and all, and a warm welcome to the grand finale of one of India's largest quizzing events, the Rajagiri National Business Quiz. It's of great honor and privilege that I stand before this gathering to address you on behalf of our institution, the Rajagiri Business School. Rajagiri Business School is one of the most sought after business schools in India. We not only educate but nurture and develop our students to being the best. Established in the year 2008, Rajagiri Business School is part of Rajagiri institutions and functions as an autonomous institution. The business school is located in Rajagiri Valley in Kakanash, which is close to the IT hub, which is Info Park in the city of Kochi, Kerala. Rajagiri Business School is home to future managers as they enhance their skills and expand their capabilities. Rajagiri NBQ has successfully established itself as the quiz conclave that brings corporate executives and B School students together and enable the battle of the best. Rajagiri NBQ has evolved as the most anticipated QC events conducted in the Valley campus of Rajagiri. It also features a wide range of quizzing formats and topics that test the mettle of the top B School and corporate brains. More importantly, the knowledge gained by conducting this event is passed on to the next batch for the better conduct of the event in the next edition of Rajagiri NBQ. Each edition of Rajagiri NBQ is crafted with utmost passion and a great vision. Let me conclude by wishing each of you the very best for this battle of intellect, and may you come out glorious and victorious. May this event be an influential part of your life and that you may cherish it forever. Thank you.
Rajagiri National Business Quiz, incepted in the year 2010 as a college event, it has grown to an enormous stature and is an excellent testimony to Rajagiri enduring commitment to excellence in whatever it does. This platform of Rajagiri NBQ always strives to being together the best quizzing minds of the country, both in the student and corporate community. With the Midesh Agarwal, CTO Google Cloud Southeast Asia, and partners APAC as our quiz master for the 7th year running, we are ready to conduct it bigger and better than all the previous years. This year, we have shifted from group event to solo event. The first prize is Rs 50,000, second prize is Rs 40,000, and third prize is Rs 30,000 each for corporate and student category. We have 16 semi-finalist participants battling it out for a berth in the grand finale. The theme for this year is Gordian Knot, a proverbial term for a problem solver only by bold action. We look forward to the boldest, most quick-witted, and the best to solve the knot that Midesh will present to them. Good luck and congratulations to the participants of the 12th edition of Rajagiri NBQ.
Rajagiri institutions relentlessly strive to excel in all the domains of education, curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular, inspired by our motto, learn, serve and excel. This year, Rajagiri National Business Quiz marks its 12th edition and is the second virtual RNBQ in the series. It is our privilege to host more than 1,000 individual participants this year. 16 semi-finalists have been selected on the basis of their performance in 3 preliminary rounds. In a few hours, you will see who walks away as the grand finale winner. All the very best for the participants. I congratulate the faculty and students who have put their time and effort for making this event a grand success. Thank you.
Rajagiri College of Social Sciences. The founding of Rajagiri Group of Institutions is the result of the educational vision of the great educationalist and social reformer of the 19th century, Saint Kuriakose alias Chavara. The purpose of these institutions is to provide the students an education that meets global standards. The flagship institution of the group, Rajagiri College of Social Sciences, had its beginnings in 1955 as Department of Social Work at Sacred Heart College, Tewara, and well-appointed canteens within the college premises. Other facilities at RCSS include separate hostel facilities for boys and girls with 24 hours internet connectivity and separate state-of-the-art gymnasiums for boys and girls. Inspired by the vision of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, the students of Rajagiri College of Social Sciences take active part in bringing about a transformational change in rural development processes by leveraging their knowledge to help build the architecture of an inclusive Rajagiri campus also boasts of a cafeteria for informal interactions, an open-air amphitheatre for musical evenings and program launches, and a proactive placement cell with a consistent success rate.
Come, join us in this journey to learn, serve, and excel.
Empowering students in today's highly fluid employment sector is a name that epitomizes the highest standards of learning. The Rajagiri Center for Business Studies.
Rajagiri Center for Business Studies is a CMI educational institution. We, the CMIs, have an experience of more than 150 years in the field of education.
With a rich history spanning almost 6 decades, Rajagiri today encompasses 2 world-class institutions in its fold.
In RCBS, we have 2 independent B schools. One is the Rajagiri Business School and the Rajagiri School of Management. And the Rajagiri Business School, you have the PGDM program. And under the Rajagiri School of Management, we have the 2-year MBA program and we have the 2 years Masters in Human Resource Management program.
Focusing on multidisciplinary research and education, Rajagiri combines a unique learning experience with an in-depth academic program.
We have a well-researched, well-documented pedagogy through which we call it Rajagiri Experiential Learning Experience, where students are given basic conceptual skills, business acumen, and they are also taught above all a social commitment.
Featuring an international faculty who are the best in their chosen fields, ensuring a global exposure through interaction with foreign students. Boasting of a state-of-the-art sprawling campus and tie-ups with the biggest global corporates which ensure premium placements for the students. Rajagiri today is grooming the business leaders of tomorrow. Rajagiri Center for Business.
Welcome everyone to the grand finale of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz 2021. As many of you know, we've gone virtual. We did the 2020 edition earlier this year itself, like many events like the Olympics that got postponed from 2020 to 2021. We did the RNBQ semifinals and finals for 2020 this year too. And we continue with the tradition of being virtual, but we moved to a solo edition this year. We have 3 finalists from the corporate edition, and we have 3 finalists from the student edition. We had over 10,000 participants who came in, which is phenomenal and a fantastic track record for Rajagiri National Business Quiz. I think it's gone double from last year. So thank you to all the participants who've really reposed their faith even while we've tried to do the virtual edition. It would be amiss of me to go ahead and not start the quiz without thanking a few people, and we'll do some more thanks as we move forward. I do want to thank Father Francis Sebastian CMI, Assistant Director of Rajagiri Valley Campus, Dr. Sunil Puliakot, Director of Rajagiri Business School. You heard from him earlier when we started this event. Dr. Binoy Joseph, who's been a fantastic pillar of strength, Principal of the Rajagiri College of Social Sciences, Reverend Dr. Saju, MD CMI and Associate Director and Vice Principal of RCSS. Fantastic, and thank you for all the support. And of course, I think the 3 faculty coordinators who've done such a phenomenal job. 3 of them who've been a pillar of strength always, Professor Arun George, Dr. Krishnan Chandramohan, and Dr. Angela Susan Matthew. All 3 of them who've been pillars of strength. Can't thank them enough for all their guidance to the students, to me, to all the participants. Just their warmth is just so brilliant. Of course, we've got amazing prize money, as always, in Rajagiri National Business Quiz. In fact, the prize money quotient has gone up this year with the solo participation. Everybody in this finals goes back rich with a minimum of 30,000 rupees. So even if you came in 3rd as a student or 3rd as a corporate, which is one of you will, right, or 2 of you will make a minimum of 30,000 rupees. The runners-up makes 40,000 rupees. And the winner, both in the student category as well as the corporate category, makes 50,000 rupees each. And this is sponsored very graciously by the Rajagiri management, as well as a few other sponsors, Chai Cult, Decathlon, 12 to 12 Barbecue, and Donut Factory for all the ground support on the sponsorships. Some great work by the student coordinators, 2 of them who are our general coordinators this year, Jobin Benu George and Swati Nair. Take a bow. I know the amount of effort it takes to, make this so smooth and coordinating with all of you. I have certainly missed the hospitality of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz student coordinator team this year and last year. As I'm sure all of you, I think many of you in this finals and many of you who are watching have missed their hospitality. I'm sure next year we'll get there in a physical format. Hopefully, with the pandemic behind us, right, we will get back to physical quizzing. Also, many thanks to Elizabeth Abraham, who's been a fantastic project manager coordinating with me all the time. So thank you, Elizabeth, for being very patient with all the quirks that I come up with. And of course, this wonderful technical team. It's gone glitch-free till now. Thank you to all the technical team heads, David, Arun, Bharat Bhaskar, Kishore, and Albin. You've all been super patient with us. You've all also ensured that everybody has been taken care of. You've done so many tests with me, so very, very well done. Thank you for all your support as you move forward. Also, I missed Hari Krishnan, I think, in that list, so thank you, Hari, as well. As all of you know, this year's theme is Gordian Knot, as was introduced by the professors. It's a problem-solving thing that Alexander the Great introduced. So don't worry, there's 2. If you saw the semifinals in corporate and you saw the semifinals in the student, it almost seemed that Preetham, Jayakanthan, Naveen, Shantanu, Pratyush, and Pranav didn't have to bother about any Gordian knots. Preetham took a rest and Jayakanthan took a rest after a while, right? So you can understand how easy the quiz has been for them. But there's going to be some very, very high quality, heavy duty quizzing as we move forward. Also, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce the Rajagiri National Business Quiz website. Please go to www.nbq, which is National Business Quiz.rajagiri.edu. Extremely well done there. And of course, this wonderful platform for StreamYard. Can't thank this startup called StreamYard that has really made things very, very easy. And of course, the Buzzin.live founders, they've really made life easy for virtual quizzing. And finally, just a reminder for everybody, in 2022, apart from Rajagiri National Business Quiz, we are here to announce yet another quiz, which is going to be massive in its scope. It is the Indo-US Pacific Quiz, hosted jointly by the Rajagiri School of Social Sciences and the Rajagiri Business School, along with the US Consulate. It's going to be a very vast format. We hope to make it a physical format with some amazing prize money, amazing formats that will come to you very soon in 2022. I hope to be able to, host this while I shift to Singapore later this week, right? But hope to see everybody again. So thank you, everybody. Let's move quickly to introducing the quizzers who are there on screen. So here we are. Here's the format of the quiz. 40 questions on the buzzer, plus 5 that won't appear on screen, which will be the buzzer finale, which will be purely on that format. You all have seen how the semifinals work. It's the same format in the grand finale as well. So we go 20 clockwise, 20 anti-clockwise, and then we do 5 finally on the buzzer. Again, as a quick reminder, if no one buzzes, we do a pass for 10 points. I hope those rules are clear to everybody. Just as a quick reminder again, thank you for cooperating throughout. Your hands, along with the mobile phone, to be visible at any point in time. And all the finalists, please do not turn off your video. By any chance, if you're facing a technical difficulty, during the question, I may not be able to make any changes, but then we will pause if I see that anybody has got dropped out. I do hope that everybody understands what integrity is. Just to repeat, right, very, very clearly, there is no 99% integrity. It's either 0% or 100%, right? And you have a huge number of people watching all of us. So I'm sure you'll do what is right and what your conscience tells you to do. Here are our 6 finalists. Welcome. Jayakanthan topped the corporate round. He is from TCS. Jayakanthan, say hello to everybody so that we can also do a quick mic test with you.
Hi, Nitesh. Yeah.
Hi, Jayakant. Perfect. We move to Naveen, who's alphabetically, the next one from Sai Mitra in Hyderabad. Naveen, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. This is Naveen.
Just to clarify, there isn't any quiz that Jayakanthan and Naveen haven't won in the country, right? So, I think they are perhaps the best quizzers I have seen in a lifetime. So kudos to both of you to continue doing this, right? I call myself a very retired person, but I really have the privilege of asking you questions, and sometimes I'm ashamed at the speed at which all of you answer it. But a big hat tip to both of you for really making sure that you do this. Pranav from IIT Madras qualified, did amazingly well in the student semifinals. Pranav, say hello to everybody in the audience.
Hey, everyone.
Could you be a bit louder there, Pranav?
Yeah, is this loud?
That's better. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Pratyush from IIM Bangalore. Again, both of them had qualified, if I remember, last year as well, and so was Pratyush. Pratyush, say hello to everybody from IIM Bangalore.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you, Pratyush. And Preetham, who's been, I think, 3-time winner on the student category at Rajagiri National Business Quiz. 2 times in the physical avatar in 2018, 19, and 20 in last year's avatar as well. He represents the Shailesh Mehta School of Management from IIT Bombay. So you can see some of the best colleges in the country who've taken part and have qualified some amazing folks. While they do very well in their studies and their work life, they also do some amazing quizzing. And finally, rounding up everything is Shantanu. Shantanu is a faculty at the IIM Ahmedabad, if I'm right, Shantanu. So please say hello to everybody.
Hi everyone. I'm not a faculty member. I am an SRA over there, the State Resource Associate.
Got it. Thank you, Shantanu. You're a State Research Associate at IIM Ahmedabad. Thank you. You still qualified from the corporate part because you work as opposed to students. So well done on qualifying, right? Thank you very much, and all the best to all the winners. And everybody is a winner here today. Everybody goes minimum 30K, right? That's a lot of prize money, and thanks to Rajagiri. Let's start off with a bang for the RNBQ. All of you, hands visible on the buzzer. Here we go. First question coming up. Walmart's promise of everyday low prices presented a unique problem that led to an innovation in the stores that has become standard these days. Let's say you're buying apples at the local mom and pop store. They might cost $1 a piece, but Walmart, they cost 50 cents approximately. So if customers see that your apples are half the price, they're more likely to visit you. It's obvious. But it also means you have to sell 2 apples to make the same amount of money because you've sold it at half the price. The upside is volume, which is very obvious. This is the classic volume-based network effect. What in-store innovation led to Walmart always looking at everyday low prices? Lots of clues in the question. Read it carefully. We'll wait for 5 seconds before we go on a pass. I don't see anybody buzzing on my screen there. I'm closing the buzzer at 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's start with Jaykantan. In alphabetical order, Jaykantan, do you have a guess?
Yeah. I'm thinking there's something to do with the items being piled up and sold as how much you're saving per unit, right? Usually, you don't get an idea of if you sort of buy a product of like 10 items of a product, you don't realize if you buy more, you're getting a saving. So that real-time update of how much the customer is saving, they sort of make it clear by labeling, by making the presentation appear with the product. Yeah.
Got it. Unfortunately, not the right answer. Good thinking there, JK. Let's move to the second in line, which is Naveen. We're going alphabetical. So Naveen from Sai Mitra Constructions, Hyderabad.
I don't know. Maybe the low margins here like make sense for them. Like if they keep on selling like so many items, so the low margins at a point of time makes sense for them.
Not
and
really.
also
Nothing to do with low margins, right? Let's move forward. Let's go to Pranav.
Yeah, so I'm guessing since you're saying some may even buy 5 or 10, so I'm guessing that you can't buy loose, like say 1 or 2. So you're supposed to buy more than you're supposed to buy like a box set or something like that.
Okay, no, not really, not really. That's more at Costco sort of stores, right? Let's move to Pratyush.
Yeah, so I'll say that this is something probably along the lines of bundling, where they would sort of bundle more and sort of.
No, nothing to do with bundling. Nothing to do with bundling, right? Pratyush from IIM Bangalore doesn't get it. Preetham from IIT Bombay.
I'll say this has to do with the separate smaller weighing machines, self-weighing machines that you have for fruits and vegetables.
Okay,
So
nothing to do with self-weighing machines. Good guess, very good thinking, right? Let's go to Shantanu and see if he's got the answer.
Since Walmarts are pretty humongous in sizes, so I am assuming that they have their own cold storage provision. So they don't need to, store it in the different store altogether because they have their own inbuilt in-store cold storage provision. So hence they're able to supply more in quantity.
No, nothing to do with cold storage innovations. Looks like nobody gets this one, right? We start with a toughie, but here's the in-store innovation that Walmart had. Remember, they're talking about volume. So the way they nudged everybody is increasing and doubling the size of the carts. So if you've seen the way Walmarts are, they have massive shopping carts when you go there, right? They never have small shopping carts, which is there. All right. So very, very clearly, when Walmart customers saw those huge carts, you kind of nudge them to throw a few more things in the basket because they want to fill up the empty space. This is a very common phenomenon that everybody's got. May I request everybody to log off the current buzz-in and I'll give you a new passcode. I think everybody may have got it, 539112. Just to make sure that we can refresh everything. Okay, I already see Pratyush buzzing there. Let's just quickly go do a try with everybody. Shantanu is buzzed. Refresh, Pranav has buzzed. Preetham is buzzed. Jaykantan and Naveen have buzzed. So it works perfectly okay. Everybody online? Okay, great. We start off with that toughie, but I hope you enjoyed the quality of that question. Right, so this is massive shopping carts that you start seeing as a very common phenomenon now in most places, right? Here's the next one coming up. Open on the buzzer for everybody. The name of the sporting category as well as the name of this company have the same origin. The company used a logo and named itself after a breed of chicken. I already see Preetham and Jaykantan doing it. So let's go first to Preetham. Considered combative thanks to the launch of pocketbooks that had a kangaroo logo. Which company are we talking about, Preetham?
I'd say this is Bantam Books.
And why did you arrive at Bantam?
Because it's the chicken that also lends its name to bantam weight, and you said combative chicken, so bantam weight in boxing.
Sorry, come again?
No, it's the chicken that also lends its name to bantam weight in boxing, and you said chicken considered combative. So
that's the right answer. Very well worked out, Preetham. Good answer there. Plus 20 to Preetham. This is exactly right. Bantam Books, the rival Bantam Books, created its now famous Bantam Fowl logo. It was named after Bantam, a port town in Indonesia. The chicken breed is said to be combative in nature, and hence the Bantam Books logo, who created to fight the rival Pocket Books kangaroo logo. The name for the bantamweight class, as Preetham correctly pointed out, is also derived from the bantam chickens. Right? Plus 20 there. Very well done. Excellent answer. Good going. Let's move to the next question. Open the buzzer for everybody. This is a visual. Before I come to the question, does anybody want to buzz with the visual? You can see Banque Nationale de Belgique, and I've blanked something. Naveen is already buzzed. Okay, Naveen. Was that a mistake? Can you refresh, please?
Well, that's not me. I am B Naveen Kumar. Naveen is someone else. I don't know who is he.
Okay, that is very strange.
I think the code was announced on air. So
Naveen, you have to go back. Yeah. My request is, okay, can everybody see the message? We'll change the code again. All right. May I request all those who are online not to, please do this. We're going to give you a new code. Can I have the backend teams please get a new code?
You can just put it in the chat.
Yes, so please put it on the chat, backend team. Not on the public chat, please, only on the private chat. You're putting it on the public chat, folks, so please put it on the private chat. Sorry to the audience. We just want to make sure that it's completely fair to everybody. I'm happy to play some music till then. Okay, the code is on chat. Please don't announce it anywhere. All right. I see Pranav has buzzed. I hope all of you have got the new code. Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, I see everybody is buzzed. All right. Okay, can you reset, please, the buzzer? Okay, no issues on the buzzer again. Naveen, you want to try? Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Reset the buzzer. I've seen everybody's name here. Shantanu, can you just buzz? Okay. Got it. Thank you. Reset the buzzer. Let's go to the question. No harm done. Team at the back end, please refresh the buzzer. Okay. Here's the question. Luckily, I hadn't asked it, so no one's buzzing right now. Okay, here's the question coming up with the visual. This cigarette brand was named after a currency and cost exactly the same as the unit of that currency, which was 5 Belgian francs. Its posters, like the one shown here, were created by a famous artist. Which brand, and name the artist? Anyone buzzing? And obviously, I'll need some explanations when you give the answer. Okay, doesn't look like anyone's buzzing. No one got the last answer. So we go to number 2, which is Naveen. Naveen, you can take a shot for 10 points, no negatives.
Okay. The brand of cigarettes would be. Okay, the artist I'm saying Rene Marget, and the
Rene
Belga.
Magritte?
Belga is the name.
Belga is the brand. And how did you get Belga?
I've seen long back some question on it.
Okay,
Belga and
knowing you can rely on your memory. Absolutely right, Naveen. Very well done. Plus 10 there. Both parts absolutely right. So clearly that's one of the database ones that Naveen pulled out, out there. This is Belga, right? Which was, one of the currencies, and Rene Magritte, who was very famous for designing posters, right? For Belga, the brand, right? So this is one of the very famous posters, which has come. Plus 10 there to Naveen. Whoever, Pranav will get the next question if it's on a pass. All right, question number 4 coming up. We've reset the buzzers. Here you go. Akbar's love of this made him create something near modern, Darbhanga in Bihar. It was created with 1 lakh of them, and hence the name. Shah Jahan created a courier service for himself from Mazagaon to Delhi, and so on. What is it that, according to some historians, did the Lodi rulers use to tempt Babur to invade the country? So there are 3 parts. What is the area in Bihar named after what Akbar had created? How is that remembered today? A clue is something that was of consequence of, was a consequence of several warnings from the pollution control boards to a very, very, very large company in 1997. So even if you gave me 2 out of 3, I'll give you points. Anyone buzzing? It's all workoutable. The yellow parts should give you the right clues. No one's buzzing. So 3, 2, 1, closing it on the buzzer. Moving to Pranav.
Yeah. So for the look, so you what all do you want? You want the how's the name? How is that name remembered today?
Give me the name. How is that name remembered today, and what is it that we're talking about?
Yeah. So so since you said like created with 1 lakh, so I'm guessing this is a Hazaribagh area, like it's very famous for mining and stuff like that. So I'm guessing the so that is the name remembered today. What is the area in Bihar named after what Akbar had created? So is that the same as the bottom one, or?
Yeah. So my first question is, what is it that, according to some historians, led the Lodi rulers to tempt Babur to invade the country? Like, what was that object?
Okay. Okay, that I'll guess is it Kohinoor? I think the Kohinoor diamond is mined from that somewhere there. So
okay, and how is it remembered today?
That I have no clue.
Okay, passing on. Moving to Pratyush.
I'll pass.
Pratyush is passing. Number 5, Preetham.
Yeah, so the second part, so area I'll say is Sasaram for created with 1 lakh. I'll say these are specific roses which are grown, and yeah. The third part I'll say it's to do with third part I'll say it has to do with the the lychee issue that keeps popping up in Bihar, where children
Lychee
eat
issue.
lychees and get poisoned.
Okay, nothing to do with lychee. Shantanu?
So for the object, I'll guess the peacock throne.
The peacock
And
throne?
the area, yeah, for the area in Bihar, I'll just say Akbarganj.
Akbarganj?
Now it is named. Now it is known as Lalubad, after Lalu Prasad.
Lalubag. Okay, not on the right track. Moving to Jayakanthan.
I'm guessing this is some kind of produce that Akbar grew there with the help of. This, produce fields, whatever was grown there was being guarded by soldiers. Some kind of valuable or favorite thing of his. I'm thinking would be some kind of mango or something. Just a random guess. And area in Bihar, I'll say some. Jaunpur, some big mango variety, which is named after that, mango variety.
Okay, mango variety named after it, Jaunpur being one of them. Okay, how's that remembered today?
And I'll say it's something to do with some fruit, soft drink company or something is polluting the water table there while making Mazda or something. So that's how the warnings were given, 1997.
Got it. Moving to Naveen.
Okay, this is indeed mangoes, and maybe the place there would be some, I don't know, some Lucky Bag or something, and in fact, Reliance have recently started this mango orchard. Actually, it was inspired by the Akbar thing which he has created in Bihar. I don't know, some
Perfect
place
answer. All three parts 100% right. Very well done there, Naveen. All three parts are perfectly right. In fact, all of you were guessing areas in Bihar. Actually, what was inspired was Reliance setting up, the whole area called, named after Lucky Bagh. So this is called the Dhirubhai Ambani Lucky Bagh Amrai, after the mango grove of Lucky Bagh in Bihar. This is because of the huge pollution slabs that they were getting in Jamnagar. Right, so they decided to have these mango groves, and now they've become one of the biggest exporters of mango itself, thanks to this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give 3 points to Jayakanthan for guessing mango, but the full 10 points, to Naveen for getting all three parts right. Mangoes, Lucky Bagh. I think you had Pranav talk about Hazari Bagh. Hazari Bagh is 1,000, right? So it couldn't have been a lakh. Right, and Reliance, of course, for naming the Lucky Bagh Amrai after Dhirubhai Ambani on this. Right, great going there, Naveen. Very well guessed. 10 points to you. Moving to question number 5. Hands on the buzzer. Here we go. This book tells the story of a company, Dash Industries, which played an indispensable role in enabling Y's success. So X is the first company, Y is the other. As the world's largest online company in this area, the area being the title of the book that I've removed as well. X is a family-owned business founded in 1857 as a sawmill in Wisconsin, right? But reinvented multiple times. They started with a particular industry. They've reinvented them at least 7 or 8 times. 50 years ago, this company X branched out into this wholesaling business that you see in the book title. They later added video, and in the heyday of that industry, packaged software and so on. In fact, Y is pretty much entirely inspired by X. A very little well-known fact, but if you read the book, you'll understand how closely they are related to each other. Even today, the X content group is a key part of the hidden infrastructure of Y. I've thrown in some specific nomenclature out there in words for you to guess it. Remember that the names are extremely famous, so they are not obscure names. X, Y, and Z are extremely famous things that you're all aware of, except that perhaps if you don't read this book, it's unlikely, that you would know this sort of close relation of history. So tell me the name of the book, The Family Business. Tell me the name of the business that they supported, and tell me Y, which is a global giant. Anyone buzzing? Assuming not on something like this. Closing the buzzer after Naveen is number 3, which is Pranav, because Naveen answered the previous one. So we go on infinite bounds to Pranav. Go for it, Pranav.
Yes, I'm guessing Y is Amazon.
Okay.
And X and okay, so X, I'm guessing this is X is Wiley Media. The
Wiley
academic,
Media.
yeah.
And what
Academic.
area?
The area being academic textbooks. Yeah. I'm just guessing.
Academic textbooks. Okay, let's move to number 4, which is Pratyush.
Yeah, so I mean, even I'll guess Amazon for Y. Um, area I will go with let's say Oregon, and company X will be a publishing house. So for X, I will say Penguin.
Okay, no. Let's move to number 5. Let's be a bit quick, please, on the answers. You've got a lot of time. I don't want anyone accusing, people saying that, they've managed to, get answers somehow.
Yeah, I don't have. I'd say X is Barnes and Noble. Y is Amazon. Z is books.
No. Let's moving forward. Shantanu?
I'll say Microsoft Encarta and how it transformed the world of encyclopedia, online encyclopedia.
Of encyclopedias. Nice guess. Moving to Jayakanthan.
I'll say McGraw-Hill, Amazon, and just books.
McGraw-Hill, Amazon, and books. Okay. Moving forward to Naveen.
Maybe Y is eBay and Z is books. No idea of X.
Okay. No. This was, I think, 2-3, right? This was already to Pratyush, or Pratyush? No. Go for it. Pratyush, did you answer this? Not Pratyush, sorry. Pranav, it started with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Got it. I'm going to offer part points. Who said Amazon first? I think it was Pranav.
Yeah.
3 points to you on Amazon. That's right. And of course, books as well. So another 3. So 6 points to you. You answered textbooks, so it's fine. I'll give you that. They did indeed start with textbooks, right? But the general category was books. X, interestingly, which many of you did not get, or in fact, no one got, is Ingram Industries. So many people don't know that Ingram originally started as a wholesaler of books, right? And if you read this book, you will find, it's a tribute to them as to how Amazon made that entire model successful. In fact, interestingly, if you read this book, you would find that, Amazon started first being a complete wholesaler of all the warehouses of Ingram books. So they started this whole book online. Everything was served out of Ingram warehouses, right? So Ingram kind of went from this to videos, to audio tapes, to software. And if you see Amazon's journey, it's pretty much done exactly the same, right? So they were inspired hugely by Ingram Industries. Unfortunately, Ingram never gets credit for it. So we had this beautiful book by Keel Hunt, highly recommended to read. Lots of fundas for quizzes as well, right? To go ahead and, get stuff from there. All right. Moving forward. So 6 points there only to Pranav. Okay. If we pass, then the next question will be to Pratyush. Here we go. Next question coming up. When the brand was launched in May 1987, it was highlighted with the tagline, "The King of Sweets." It was given the famous tagline in question, the early 90s, when it became clear that the product was being consumed by adults more than kids and deserves more attention. The ad, titled "Battle of Parisburg," cemented the brand in popular memory. What was the brand involved in the Battle of Parisburg? And what was the associated tagline? If you can figure out what Battle of Parisburg is, you'll surely get what the tagline is. Okay, tough ones here in the finals. No one buzzing. So let's go to Pratyush.
Okay, since it says King of Sweets, I'll guess that the brand is probably Hershey's Kisses. And
okay, not Hershey's Kisses. So I'll move forward. Number 5. Go for it, Preetham.
I'll just say Skittles again. I don't know.
Skittles again, no. Moving forward to Shantanu.
My guess is Pez, as in the Pez dispensers, those candies, Pez.
Okay, candies
PZ.
from Pez dispensers. No. Good guess, Jayakanthan.
I'll say these are the jelly beans which Ronald Reagan used to consume a lot.
Always
So
have and consume.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
Sorry?
nothing to do with Ronald Reagan and jelly beans. Let's move to Naveen.
Is it M&M melts in your mouth?
Not M&M melts in your mouth. Let's move to Pranav.
I'm gonna guess this particular brand will be Macintosh, the assorted candies.
The assorted candies brand. No, nothing to do with Macintosh. All of you, I think, missed one key element out there, which is the spelling of Parisburg there, and therefore everybody went with international brands, right? You are going to really hit yourself when you see the answer. The Battle of Parisburg was coffee versus toffee, which is Paris Coffee Bite, right? So this was called the Battle of Parisburg, whether it's a coffee or it's a toffee, right? So if you remember those ads for a very long time, this was the famous Battle of Parisburg, right? All of you went with international brands. I was hoping someone will understand the drift there as to why it was specifically called Paris. Of course, this brand is now bought by Lotte, right? And taken over, but this was a very famous coffee versus toffee. No one gets anything there. Think as you move forward. Question 7. This is the autobiography of an English aviation pioneer and aerospace engineer. He had 2 famous cousins in Hollywood, both of whom were Academy Award winners. I see Pranav has already burst. Who is this pioneer? Who are the 2 cousins who remain the only siblings to have won lead acting Academy Awards? I also see Jayakanthan has buzzed if Pranav doesn't get it. Anybody else buzzing? Otherwise, we go with Pranav. Go for it, Pranav. So whose autobiography is Sky Fever?
Yeah, so this is Sir the de Havilland brand. So this is the entire like de Havilland Comet and all this.
Okay, and who are the 2 cousins?
The cousins who won lead acting. Okay. Okay, when I buzzed, I just saw the pioneer. I didn't see the second part. Yeah.
Nothing in this quiz is going to be that simple in the finals.
Yeah.
Right, sorry about that, Pranav. -10, but we'll move to Jayakanthan. Jayakanthan, all 3 parts, please.
I'll say de Havilland, and this is Olivia and John de Havilland Fontaine.
Perfect, right answer. Got all 3 parts right. Absolutely right. Here's the answer. This is Jeffrey de Havilland, Olivia de Havilland, and Joanne Fontaine, who was Joanne de Havilland originally and later became Joanne Fontaine. The only 2 siblings to have won an Academy Award, and Jeffrey de Havilland, after who the de Havilland, aerospace company is, completely named. Sorry, Pranav. Sorry on that. You get a -10, but full +20 there to Jayakanthan. Very well answered. Reset the buzzer. Moving to question number 8. In 2021, Unilever decided to drop a word from its 200 beauty products in an attempt to create a more inclusive definition of beauty. Okay, I have Shantanu already. Shantanu, let's hear the answer.
I think they removed the word normal.
Okay, and why is that?
Because they were trying to replicate this idea that the fair skin color is a normal color, so which is not really the case, because we are living whereby every skin color should be normal and not just the white skin color should be normal.
And what's the COVID context?
So I mean, we are saying that this is the new normal. We keep saying COVID, this is the new normal.
Perfect answer. Very well done. +20 to you. Very, very well done. Perfect full answer there. The normal and the new normal being the COVID context. And absolutely, they didn't want to use the word normal, right? For typically looking at skin, you say fair skin, dry skin, dark skin, all of that. So they simply use the word normal, and the context being the new normal from the COVID era. +20 there to Shantanu. Let's reset the buzzer. Question number 9 coming up. Shown here are some of the iconic covers of Time magazine in 2021. Jayakanthan is already buzzed. They were available individually or as a collection. In what way are these a first by Time?
These are the first. Sorry.
Hold on. Just if anybody else is buzzing. Nobody else buzzing. Go for it, Jayakanthan.
These are the first NFTs put out by Time.
Absolutely right. Very, very well done. Beautiful answer. +20 there. These are the first 3 ever NFTs or non-fungible tokens inspired by one of Time's most iconic covers. And they included one of the original covers is Fiat Dead and created especially for the auction. Very well done. +20 there to Jayakanthan. Now the quiz is heating up and everybody is warmed up. Question number 10 coming up. Ramoon from Japan was introduced in 1884. I already have Naveen buzzing. Tell us what closer home is the Genuki Ramoon based on?
This is the Bodhi soda.
Just hold on. Okay, no one else buzzing. Naveen?
Yeah,
Go
this is
ahead.
a Goli soda bottle or the cod neck bottle. This is a Goli soda.
Absolutely right. This is popularly called the Goli soda or the lemon soda bottles or the paneer soda bottles. If you were a Chennai fellow, right, using cod's bottle. So they are still the only one who genuinely use the cod neck bottle that Genki Ramon uses. Very popular for that. Plus 20 there, Naveen. The heat is on, as everybody says. Here are some of the scores. Jayakanthan at 43, Naveen at 40, Pranav, unfortunately, at -4, but long quiz ahead. Pratyush still not opened their account. Preetham at 20, Shantanu, if I'm right, is also at 20. So big battle on for both the corporate edition and the big battle between the corporates and the students. Question number 11 coming up. What idea that has been blanked out? It says Zomato pitched renaming our brand to Dash, but the idea was rejected at once. It's one of my favorite questions of the quiz. It's one of the beautiful tweets by Zomato. Pitched renaming our brand to Dash. Preetham has buzzed. Anyone else buzzing before I close? Okay, Preetham, let's see if you work this one out.
So I'll say this is Zometa after Facebook changed its name to Meta or Metaverse.
Okay, so they just said pitched renaming our brand to Zometa, but the idea was rejected at once. 20 points to you for that. Absolutely right. Very well worked out. They said they wanted to, rename themselves. A very nicely done thing. Plus 20, Preetham. You're back in action as well. Excellent answer. Moving to question 12. Sales of Band-Aids were flagging until Johnson & Johnson made an ingenious marketing move in the 1920s. The promise of a free and unlimited supply of Band-Aids is kept until this day. What marketing move that has served Johnson & Johnson very well for over 100 years now? So what did they do where they promised a free and unlimited supply of Band-Aids to someone or something? Anyone buzzing? Be careful on this one. JK, one small request. When you're answering, only your chin is visible. So maybe you want to adjust the camera. It'll be useful. Thank you. Okay, no one buzzing, clearly. So we had the last answer, if I'm right, given by Naveen again. Right? So we go with Pranav.
Yeah, so I'm guessing J&J started directly giving doctors the Band-Aids so that they can prescribe.
Nothing to do with doctors. That would have been the obvious guess, right? Moving to 4, which is Pratyush.
Yeah, so I think that they started giving it free of cost to Boy Scouts, I think. So in the US,
that's the right answer. Beautiful answer there, Pratyush. Very well worked out. It is plus 20 there. They started giving this to Boy Scouts. So J&J also created a custom first aid kits that included Band-Aids. So if you see there, this was the custom first aid kit that I had shown you on the visual, not just Band-Aids that they are known for today. So they called it the first aid packet for Boy Scouts, available in all parts of the world, even today. Lifetime supply free to all Boy Scouts. Excellent answer there, Pratyush. Plus 20 to you. You're in the game too.
He gets a plus 10, right? On the pass.
Oh, sorry, plus 10. My bad. It's a pass question. Thank you, admin, for pointing it out. And thank you, JK, for pointing it out as well. I see, Jayakanthan, you're off on video. Okay, you're fine now. Excellent. Moving forward, that's plus 10 to you. Question 13 coming up. Which famous India business family is associated with the production of these two Raj Kapoor movies as a financier? Both these movies are an ARG, right? You can see that there's almost kind of, correlated. This business family today is more famous in the publishing industry. Media and publishing, that's what they're known for. Pranav is buzzed. Is there anyone else buzzing before I close it? Let's move to Pranav. Go for it, Pranav.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's the Times Group. We need the Jain family. So
not the Jain family, unfortunately. Sorry, that's going to be a minus 10 there, Pranav. And it doesn't pass to anyone. This is incidentally the Puri family of India Today fame, right? Competitors. So Vidya Vilas Puri, Arun Puri's father, was Raj Kapoor's friend. He was a former film financier and the owner of Thomson Press and launched India Today in 1975. So this is the Puri family and not the Jain family out there. Minus 10, unfortunately. Moving to question 14. The original brand is on the left of the arrow. In 2007, when the brand, which is Nil, decided to come up with a home edition, it came up with 5 major names, which you can see on the right of the arrow. Spree, Donau, Elbe, Isar, and Rhein. Why these 5 names, and what does the original brand name mean? Very, very workoutable. Of course, if you know German, right, you perhaps can work it out even easily. Let's see who gets this one. Okay, no one buzzing. So the last one, if I remember right, was answered by Pranav, right? Pratyush, sorry. So we move to Preetham. For 10 points to Preetham.
Okay, so the second part, I'll say these are 5 the German rivers specifically, and I'll say Nil is just German for Nile. So maybe there was some move from like they wanted German names instead because they're a local brand. So they for the German market they switched to local river names instead of Nile.
Plus 10 to you, absolutely right. Fully got it right. Right, original name means Nile. The Nil part, that's how the Germans call it. For the home edition, they wanted obviously the 5 major rivers in Germany, which are Spree, Danube, Elbe, Isar, and the Rhine. Okay, great answer. Plus 10. Well done. If the next question passes, it will go to Shantanu. All right, question number 15. There's a video question coming up, so please wait for the question. If you want to just buzz, I can tell you there are multiple parts, so be careful. All right, here's the video coming up for you. Just give me 1 sec. Here you go.
We celebrate the anniversary of the platform unification directives. For years they have given us their sons, their labor, their dreams. In exchange, we have taken our tribute, our profits, our control. This power is ours and ours alone. We shall prevail.
Okay, all of you saw what was there on the video. It's a classic ad from Apple way back. But that's not the question. Okay, Pranav and Shantanu have already buzzed, so I'm not going to even ask the question. So Pranav, tell us what the question or questions could be.
Yeah, so I'm guessing, so this is the, like, basically Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite, parodied Apple's ad when they released their Macintosh in 1984, directed by Ridley Scott. And basically, Apple did it against IBM. So Epic Games, they are doing it for Apple against their Apple Store rules regarding payment, where like you can't have separate payment service. You have to pay through the.
What's the question? What's the question?
I'm just giving you the entire fund. I'll just take question answer.
Okay, cool. Sorry, that's going to be a -10. Shantanu, I knew people would do this, right? Shantanu, tell us the question and then tell us the answer.
Because you have already revealed the Apple part, so, and you said it is a multi-part question. So first part would have been which brand is doing this, for which I would have said Fortnite, which belongs to Epic Games. And then your second part could have been why are they doing that? So this was regarding the controversy whereby Fortnite was they were trying to make their own Play Store thing, which Apple did not allow, that no money should be routed through that route. So they stopped the sale of Fortnite on that particular channel, that it has to be sold through Apple Store only. So that could be the second part.
Okay, cool. That's what exactly Pranav said. So I would have given him those points. Unfortunately, both of you did not wait for the question, right? As I told you, right? Sorry, nobody gets this right, but here's the question that was asking so that it's very transparent to everybody. What was the specific name of this video advertisement that became viral? And it was an obvious take on 1984. The ad from 2020 was created as a response to a corporate battle, right? So clearly, Pranav and Shantanu, what you said, all those things are very well known. I wanted to know the name of this ad, which was a very, very nice pun. Okay, so here's the name of the ad. Any guesses now, Pranav, if you want to guess?
Big Brother, I think.
Not Big Brother.
Is it just 2021?
No, that's why I said hold on for any of the questions like this. Anyone else wants to name, for no points, wants to take a guess at what was the name of the ad?
I think it was called 1980 Fortnite. So
That is the right answer, Pratyush.
1984.
Instead of 1984, it was called 1980 Fortnite as a nice pun on 1984. Okay, so that was the question, which is why I'm saying please hold on. Right, they won't be just the obvious ones that may have been asked before in other quizzes. Right, this is the name of the specific ad. They titled it 1980 Fortnite. Right, so if you went to Google search or to YouTube, you'll get this ad as 1980 Fortnite. All right. Question 16. So minus 10, unfortunately, to both Pranav and Shantanu there. Here's the next question coming up for all of you. The first parachute jump was made by André Jacques Garnerin. He used all of this. You can see the visual. What did Garnerin use as a balloon? So you can see it in the visual. He used a very unique object. And interestingly, he fell down, unfortunately, first case of air sickness. He tried it again and unfortunately lost his life because he continued to use the same object. It's very much in the visual. So tell me, what did Garnerin use as a balloon? Very workoutable. All clues in the visual. And of course, I'll ask you for explanations. No one buzzing. So I think it is Shantanu who we go to because the last answer was given by Preetham. So Shantanu, do you have a guess?
There's a popular funda of wedding dresses being used as
Okay, not wedding dresses. Good guess. Yes, it is true. Much, much later though. Right, good guess. Let's move to Jayakantan.
It is some kind of French silk material which is used for clothing and other stuff, which some kind of a material used to make tents and clothing and stuff like that. I would say
Jayakantan, one request, if you could, we can't see your face at all. Yeah,
all right.
Maybe whenever you can.
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
That's not the answer though, right? Let's move to Naveen.
Yeah, like maybe, I don't know, like maybe silk gowns and all.
Nothing to do with silk gowns. I wouldn't ask it if it wasn't like a cool funda. Let's move to Pranav.
I'm guessing these are like corduroy pants or something like they use.
Not corduroy points. Very good guess again, but now all of you are in the right direction. Let's move to Pratyush.
Probably like something like nylon socks.
Not nylon socks. Nylon was invented in the 1900s, so couldn't have been nylon socks. Number 5. Let's go to Preetham. Let's see if he can crack this.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't have any guesses of the material, so I'll just say he used a champagne cask for the thing he's sitting in or standing in.
Okay, the champagne casks. No, that would have been the bottom. I said, what did he use for the balloon on top, right? Okay, no one gets this. It was Shantanu's direct. So if the next one will go to JK if things don't work out from PCS. Here's the answer for all of you, which is why I like this question, right? He used actually a gondola. So if you see out there, he actually used this object, which is why he violently fell down, right? And he thought that something that could float on water could also float in air. And as a result, he kept attempting this and eventually lost his life. So the original things that they used for these parachutes were gondolas, right? And they started making thinner and thinner gondolas. A lot of people also use that for gondolas on water, right? And obviously they sank too, right? But they didn't lose their lives. But, you know, Garnerin lost his life trying to experiment with gondolas out there, right? So, sorry, no one got this right, but I hope you liked the funda. Let's move to question 17. Open on the buzzer for everybody. Here's a video question. I hope all of you are not going to try and buzz. Pranav, Shantanu especially. Wait for the question. My sincere request. Give it a second to coming up. Here you go. All right. Hoping that nobody is going to buzz. With that, here's the question. Okay, here you go. This is DJ Sol or D Sol, whose proceeds from DJing. Okay, Pranav, Preetham, and Naveen have already buzzed. How do we better know D Sol? Yes, Pranav.
Yeah, so this is the CEO of Goldman Sachs, David Solomon.
Absolutely right. Finally, you get it right. Okay, good. You waited for the question. Right, no trick on this one. Right, this is Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon, who, by the way, is a very, very famous DJ. He started this company called Payback Records for charity and so on, but actually started life as a DJ. In fact, this was a famous article. He's also performed in several concerts and several conferences for corporate companies as well as a DJ. So Goldman Sachs, DSOL, some really cool stuff actually that he mixes. Well done, Pranav. Hopefully you got your negative back and went into positive. Plus 20 to Pranav there. Moving on to the 18th question or the first half of the quiz. Here we go. The dishes had to be kept relatively simple. Only those that demanded a limited cooking time were chosen. Another important aspect that was considered was that the entire cooking had to be powered by electricity. The weight of the supplies was also an issue. In a situation where I see Preetham has buzzed, right? Extra ounce mattered. The piano for the bar was made out of aluminium. This was the menu for what 10.5 hour 1936 pleasure, and whose real value was in delivering a message. Anybody else who wants to buzz before I close it on the buzzing? Okay, Preetham, let's go to you. Tell me, this was the menu for what?
Yeah, so I'll say this is the Hindenburg, which is basically taking a trip across the US because people used to associate it with the Nazis, etc. So they wanted like a more positive reputation. And yeah, because it's an airship, the weight was an issue. So it had like a piano, which is lightweight and all that.
Perfectly right. Plus 20 there to you, Preetham. Perfectly right. This is the Hindenburg. Obviously, unfortunately, it didn't go very well a year later for them. This was called the Millionaires Flight. They actually invited several millionaires on it, did a 10 to 12 hour, 10.5 hour cruise over the New England, right? And took 72 wealthy and influential passengers. Imagine the disaster if it happened with all of those, right? The world would have been certainly poorer, right? But unfortunately, a year later, the Hindenburg disaster happened in 1937 as well, right? So plus 20 there, very well worked out, Preetham, from what's there. Great going. Let's see the 19th question coming up on the buzzer for everybody. This is the Scindia Steam Navigation Company. This particular one, which is the SSL Hind, right? What was the specific line of ships named after for its primary purpose? It only went from one place to the other. It was opened only during a specified period of time, and it carried, apart from obviously goods, it carried a specific segment of passengers. Only once a year. Okay, Preetham and Pranav and JK have buzzed. Let's first go with Preetham.
Yeah, so El Hind is Arabic. So I'll say this, and you said specific routes. I'll say this is to basically take Indian pilgrims to Jeddah and Mecca further on for the Hajj pilgrimage.
Absolutely right. This is the Hajj line, as it used to be called. Very well worked out, right? From El Hind, carrying pilgrims for the Hajj to Saudi Arabia, right? So if you notice, it was the Hajj line, as it was called earlier. So they did not take passengers. Otherwise, it was a normal steamship carrying goods. Only during that part of the month, they would actually carry pilgrims from the Hajj to Saudi Arabia, for the Hajj to the Saudi Arabia. Very well worked out there, Preetham. Plus 20 there for you. Moving forward, here you go. Final question of the clockwise round. We'll see the scores after this. Here you go. Clay shipped from South Carolina in the US, and you see a number of places. All these go into a manufacturing of an item with a certain famous brand producers for a special client. Preetham has buzzed. 52,000 are produced every year for the client, and they must be kept at 68 degree Fahrenheit. Right? They travel 6,600 miles for this, where the raw materials are sourced. Some critics have highlighted the large carbon footprint. Anybody else buzzing? What product and brand, and who's the client? Two parts there. You can see what all is used. Closing this in 3, 2, 1. Preetham, over to you.
I say this is tennis balls that he used in Wimbledon. So,
Tennis balls used in Wimbledon, and who produces them?
I'm not sure of that. Maybe Slazenger, but no, I think they're a sponsor.
You got all
Not
three
sure.
parts right. Perfectly right. Very well. Half chance, I guess, but you still got it right. Slazenger tennis balls for Wimbledon. The materials that take up the official Wimbledon ball fly actually between 11 countries and 4 continents before being manufactured in Bataan in the Philippines. The balls then travel the final 6,600 miles to London. So you can imagine, with all of what's happening with COP26 and so on, right? There's a huge hue and cry that for a simple ball at Wimbledon, why do we need to, do all of this stuff? Simply to preserve a lot of history. But then, of course, tradition is tradition. All right. Here are the scores at halfway mark of the quiz. We have Jayakanthan at 43, Naveen still at 40, Pranav at -4, Pratyush at 10, and Preetham is like absolutely rocking it. He's beating the corporates left, right, and center out here. 110 points, and Shantanu at 10. Right? So Preetham clearly leading right now. But remember, while this is a contest between corporates and students, it's also within the corporates, you get a winner, and within the students, you get a winner. So there's a big battle on within the corporates, within the students, and between the two as well. So very well done. We'll move anti-clockwise and start with Shantanu in this round. And then we go to Preetham, to Pratyush, Pranav, Naveen, and JK if there's a pass. Of course, I expect a lot more buzzing to happen. Here we go. Question number 1 coming up in the anti-clockwise round. Here you go. In 2012, when 4 famous people made it to the Indian Parliament, there was a popular advertising meme going around. Given that 3 of the quartet were very famous yesteryear actresses, I see Preetham, Jayakanthan, and Shantanu have buzzed. If the 4th person in the meme is in the pick, what was the meme, or tell us what was the meme inspired by? Preetham, first to you, then to Jayakanthan if you don't get it right.
Yeah, so this is the Nirma jingle, Hema, Rekha, Jaya, or Sushma, Sabki Pasand.
Absolutely right. I would have got you to sing it if it was live, right? But I won't embarrass you on YouTube. This is washing powder Nirma. So when Hema, Rekha, Jaya, and Sushma got in, they obviously started having a meme where the parliament started singing washing powder Nirma, Sabki Pasand Nirma, Hema, Rekha, Jaya, or Sushma, right? So I thought it was a nice question to ask in the finals. Well done, Preetham. Plus 20 to you. You went on a flash there. Question number 2 coming up. At one point, 90% of the users of this brand were women. It gave birth to iconic characters such as Ram Murari, a government employee saddled with work, the young Deepak Seth running to meet his girlfriend, and Radha, a medical student. It was not only promoted at cricket tournaments where it was awarded to the man of the match, but also given away to students excelling in academics. The brand's ads highlighted its USP, Dash Karti Pakka Vada, Kharcha Kam, Mazbuti Zyada. What famous brand of a then aspirational India, remember this is the 70s and 80s, that was targeted at the country's middle class? The brand does not really exist anymore, right? It got bought over. Shantanu is already buzzed. Shantanu, tell us the answer.
By any chance, this is Luna. Luna karti pakka wada, kharcha kam, mazbuti zyada.
And what was the brand tagline at that point in time for this promise?
Isn't this the tagline? Luna
No, that
karti
isn't the
pakka
tagline.
wada.
So do you remember Luna's famous tagline?
No, I don't remember. I just feel because it says aspirational, so because it would have been affordable for everybody, especially middle class. So
Okay. That's a very strange one because if you know about Luna, that is not their most famous tagline.
no, other guess would have been Bajaj Chetak, but it doesn't fit with that. So I went with Luna.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not going to give you points because I need an explanation, right? So I want to know what is the tagline. I said that very clearly. What was the famous tagline? And when you hear the
what
answer,
famous brand? It asks the brand, no?
I added that very clearly that I need an explanation. I'm very clear about what I'm asking, right? So I want to know what is the tagline. I won't give you negatives, but I won't give you points as well unless you get the tagline.
Chal
Okay.
Meri Luna, for that matter.
Sorry, you're telling me that you're guessing Chalmeri Luna, that didn't come up like suddenly?
So I am thinking for it constantly. I'm not doing anything.
Okay. It is Chalmeri Luna, but I'm very surprised, frankly, Shantanu, that Chalmeri Luna came so late, because I can tell you that anybody who knew Luna, the first thing that comes to their mind is Chalmeri Luna. They didn't have any other tagline, right? So this is their more famous line, line, right? No problem. We're going to give you plus 20 on this because you got both parts right. But I'd really, on the buzzer, I'd like you to answer immediately, right? And listen to the question as well, right? That's plus 20 to you. Moving forward, question number 3. Shown here is the spherical seed head of a dandelion flower. It inspired the identity of what brand that in the 1950s found a wise way to reach out to its customers? Jaykantan, go ahead.
I'm guessing.
Okay,
I'm guessing this is Tupperware, and these are the Wise part. Wise was a famous person who organized the Tupperware parties.
Okay, and what are the brownie points reference there? Just to pull your leg.
Wise was the person, right? So that's why you said wise way to reach out to customers. Tupperware party.
Absolutely right. But her full name happened to be Brownie Wise, which is why I said brownie points for figuring out the wordplay in the question, right? So you get the brownie point. You don't get the brownie points on this one, but plus 20 to you. It is Tupperware. Let's reset the buzzer. The now legendary Brownie Wise, who popularized home parties for Tupperware. The subtle hint in the question was wise way to reach out, which you absolutely got it right. Right, and I also said brownie points. Plus 20 there to you. Moving forward, question number 4 coming up. The phrase appeared in a 1927 edition of Printers Inc., an American trade publication for the advertising industry. The words featured in a headline written by advertising manager Fred Barnard, who labeled them as originating from an ancient Chinese proverb because he thought that people would take it more seriously. Jaykantan is buzzed. Naveen is buzzed too. What phrase or idiom that Barnard used in his advertising copy to remind people how complex ideas can be easily represented? So let's first go with Jaykantan, Naveen, and Preetham in that order if Jaykantan doesn't get it, which is unlikely. But go ahead, Jaykantan.
I'm thinking this is a picture is worth 1,000 words.
That is absolutely right. This is a picture is worth 1,000 words. The original one, by the way, was a picture is worth 10,000 words, which is what the Confucius thing was. But the more popular tagline became a picture is worth 1,000 words. Very well done. Good going there by Jaykantan. I think the questions are heating up. The answers are looking even better. Let's see what the big battle is going to throw back on us. Here we go. Question number 5. People complained there are visuals that Spotco, the advertising firm that was responsible for branding, might have copied it from Saturday Night Fever. More interesting is the likeness to the poster of the Royal Shakespeare Company's landmark production of Nicholas Nickleby, which transferred to Broadway in 1981. The serif font was a classical air and metallic golden background was used, which was appropriate for the 18th century reference. What promotional creation from 2015 that had a silhouette forming the top point of a star, Preetham has already buzzed, as if to point out the person's true place in history? Anyone else buzzing? Because I'm not showing the visual. Because Preetham has already buzzed. Okay, Preetham, go for it.
I'd say this is the theatrical poster or like the advertisement poster for Hamilton when it released, the Broadway musical.
Okay, here's the visual. Right, do you still think it's Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a more biz answer. So
okay, here we go. It is right. This is Alexander Hamilton, who's also the founder of USA's financial system and the first secretary of the Treasury. Right, and you can see this whole thing was copied, as you can see, from the previous one, from Saturday Night Fever and Nicholas Nickleby and so on, right? And you can see the Hamilton poster, which was designed similarly as well. And the BIS connection obviously was that he was US's financial system. He kind of founded that at the first secretary of the Treasury as well. Great answer. Plus 20 there to Preetham on the buzzer. Moving to question number 6. Connect with some specifics. Again, I'll ask for explanations, right? So you see the first flush of freedom, reflections and recollections and reflections by H.M. Patel. You see the 1 rupee note and you see the Paresh Rawal movie Sardar. So tell me what the connection is. Jaykantan is buzzed. Anyone else buzzing before I close it? 3, 2, 1. Close it with Jayakanthan. Go for it.
I'm guessing this is the Mathai Kurian family. Mathai was the uncle of Kurian, Varghese Kurian, and he was the secretary who signed 1 rupee note and everything. And Sardar Patel basically chose Kurian, and Mathai basically supported them a lot. Kurian went on to found Amul so basically the family and their this could also be, you can just simplify, say it's Kurian himself, but overall connection would be the Kurian founding Amul. Yeah.
Got it. Unfortunately, Jayakanthan minus 10, right? Nowhere near the answer on this one, and wouldn't be passing to anyone. This is a far more involved funda. While all of what you said is true and connected here, but the specific connection with the 1 rupee note is not matching. If you notice here, the 1 rupee notes were signed, interestingly, by H.M. Patel himself, right? And by the way, he's the only finance minister to have sponsored and produced a movie. That's the connection. So the only movie to be produced by an Indian finance minister, H.M. Patel was father of Amul's Amrita Patel. He was a finance minister from 1977 to 79 and was a producer of the movie. H.M. Patel was also a secretary in the Ministry of Finance, whose signature was once seen on the rupee 1 note. So I hope you get that connection there. So this is the only finance minister, or rather the only Indian finance minister to produce a movie. That's the connection that I was looking for. Minus 10, unfortunately, Jayakanthan. Moving forward to question number 7. What is below the logical explanation for? The same reason is behind the name Hang Seng Index of Hong Kong. Again, I'll look for explanations. The immediate appeal of this word is evident in a culture like China's, said Catherine Jiang, the director of the London School of Economics. Jayakanthan is already buzzed. Jayakanthan, over to you. I don't think anybody else has buzzed yet. Shantanu is also buzzed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is the reason for all the Chinese companies having Ever as a name. So you have Evergreen, Evergrande. All their companies are obsessed with eternity, and the name Ever, the word Ever becomes very special to them.
Absolutely right. Good explanation too. Very well done. Right. This is why the prefix or the word ever is used in many Chinese companies like Evergrande, Evergreen Marine, and so on. Right. By the way, Everbright Bank as well. Hang in Hang Seng also means ever. Right. That's why the Hang Seng connection there for all of you. Beautifully worked out, Jayakanthan. Plus 20 there. Moving to question 8. These were trucks manufactured by Opel. Naveen is already buzzed. Right. Naveen can't stay out of the buzzing. What name coined in a prize competition did this truck get?
My guess is
yes, Naveen.
Yeah, this is Jeepney.
Jeepney. And how's the name still relevant today?
I have no idea. I just went with what's the name of the truck.
Okay. Sorry, you got the name of the truck wrong as well. Unfortunately, that's going to be a minus 10. Right. The name of the truck is not Jeepney. Right, that's a different question. Anybody else? I saw Preetham kind of saying, oh, why did Naveen go fast? Did you have the same guess? Anybody else who wants to guess for no points?
How can anyone humanly go so fast?
Okay, get that. That's usually an expression with Naveen, right? The answer here is actually the word Blitz. These were the Blitz trucks. And in fact, the Opel logo, if you actually see, even today is called the Blitz. So if you see that sign, this is the Opel Blitz, the 2 stripes that are arranged loosely like a lightning symbol, right? So that very clearly is the stretch letter Z, still appears in the Opel logo called the Blitz. The Opel logo is called the Blitz as well, right? Sorry, Naveen, minus 10 there. There is a different funda called the Jeepney funda, but I think it's been asked before, right? Won't ask that again. Okay, minus 10 there. Moving forward to question 9. What is the specific reason behind the HMT brand name Kanchan? So you see, these were HMT Kanchans, very, very popular. I happen to live next to the only HMT store remaining, next to the HMT factory, right? Beautiful funda. Why are the HMT Kanchans called Kanchans? They're a very, very popular thing. Why the name Kanchan? Again, I'll need explanations very clearly. No one buzzing, looks like. Okay, let's start with Shantanu. I think on the reverse round.
So was the founder's daughter called Kanchan?
Not the founder's daughter. It is a government company. It's not Kanchan, right? Moving forward, let's move to Preetham.
Very offbeat, but I'll say the watch also worked at high altitudes and Kanchenjunga.
Kanchenjunga. Okay, nice. Not really. But good guesses. All nice thinking. Number 4, let's move to Pratyush.
Yeah, so going by the meaning of the name. So Kanchan means gold. Probably like the material used for making the watch was gold, and that's probably
material used was gold. Okay, gold watch by HMT. No, nice guess. Number 3, Pranav.
I'm guessing this is like a commemorative watch. Basically, the last remaining HMT watchmaker or something like that.
Okay, last remaining, in tribute to the last remaining HMT watchmaker. No, nice fundas. Everybody is giving me. Right. Let's move to Naveen.
There was few watches from HMT, these were like very famous during dowries. Like, so the girl parents used to give dowries and all. Like, so maybe the Kanchan, like it was mostly like female, like it was targeted towards women, but like it was like mostly for dowry.
That is the right answer, by the way. Beautifully worked out there, right? It is true that these were called the dowry watches. So if you went back in the 60s and 70s, Kanchan was the most common dowry watch. And as Pratyush earlier mentioned, because it was gold, right? Kanchan means gold. Although this has nothing to do with, wasn't made of gold or whatever it is. They took a very cheap watch, just renamed it Kanchan, gave this artificial gold plating, right? And called it Kanchan. So absolutely right. The watch was a popular dowry item given to grooms during the wedding and was also called the dowry watch. People often used it as an item in gift in lieu of gold. Kanchan means gold, which was obvious, right? If you knew Hindi, right? But no points for that. Plus 10 there to Naveen on the pass. If we pass the next time, JK, please remember, we start with you. All right. Question number 10. Here we go. Who's this former chairman of the Indian Motion Picture Export Corporation whose original name was Saurabh Kaikushlu? Shantanu is buzzed. Shantanu, hope you've read the question.
Saurabh Kaiku. Sorry?
No, go ahead. I just said hope you've read the question because it's like really fast. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Saurabh Kaikushuru is Mr. Bobby Kuka.
That's the right answer, absolutely. And what did Bobby Kuka do?
So he famously designed, along with him, there was another person, the Maharaja logo, Air India Maharaja.
Absolutely right. Plus 20 there to Shantanu. This is indeed Bobby Kuka, who created the Air India Maharaja. Everybody knows him as Bobby Kuka, but his original name was Saurabh Kaikushru. Right, plus 20 there to Shantanu. Moving forward to question number 11. I'm going to show you visuals and I'll read the visuals out. There are 5 visuals that will come as a comic strip. This comic strip is depicting whose story? A legend who passed away in January of 2021. Anybody wants to go on the buzzer just for that? Hoping not. Okay, here you go. First one, I'll read what is there as well. In 1947, the family bid goodbye to their birth friend and journeyed, all the way to Delhi. They went there. You see the Punjab Vatni restaurant. Naveen is already buzzed, right? While everybody else reads, anybody else buzzing? Okay, so whose journey is this?
Okay, I'm guessing this is Mahase Dharampal Gulati of MDH fame.
Not really. Sorry, on the wrong track. In fact, MDH, he was born way before this, right? He was almost 100 when he passed away. Good guessing, but you should have read most of it. You see that there's more modern stuff. This person went out there. And if you see the visual, the person is gradually becoming old, went out there, started collecting, things in the Osho ashram and so on. For no points, anybody else wants to guess? No one? Okay, let's reset the buzzer.
Should I guess again?
You can guess for no points though.
Yeah, sure. This is Satya Paul.
It is Satya Paul. If you just read the comic strip carefully, it is Satya Paul, right? Who passed away in January 2021. As you know, from being a famous fashion designer, he went on the spiritual and religious route, right? And he obviously this changed everything for him, right? And he renamed himself as well. This is Satya Paul. Hold on, Naveen. You know a lot more, but you go very, very fast. Read the question carefully. -10, unfortunately, on that one. All right, we have 9 more questions to go. We'll do the scores after 3 or 4 questions. Here we go. What 3 words often used in the world of movies that is team at low, that is Balki's team at low, used to creatively bid farewell to Balki when he decided to quit advertising to pursue movies full-time? Again, one of my favorite questions in the quiz. What was the 3 words which are often used in the world of movies when Balki decided? Naveen is buzzed. Anybody else buzzing?
Okay, I'm just taking
Pratish
a
is
guess.
buzzed too. Hold on. And Pranav is buzzed too. Okay. Go for it, Naveen.
Okay, just a guess. This is basically like 3 cinemas. So in cinemas now, like.
That's the right answer. Very well worked out. Perfect answer there. It is in cinemas now. Perfect answer. Nothing more to add. Right. So I thought it was a beautiful tribute to Balki by advertisers. Moving from advertising only to cinemas, they decided to use the 3-word phrase in cinemas now that we very, very often see. Great tribute by the ad folks back for Balki, right from the Lintas group when he was at Bull and Low. Here we go. Question number 13. Plus 20 there to Naveen. He recovers some of his negatives. Here's question number 13 coming up. This company had a jumping kangaroo logo. It was started by an eccentric inventor named George Nissen. Naveen is already buzzed. What did Nissen invent, being inspired by touring circuses? Jayakanthan is also buzzed, and which he named after the Spanish word for diving board. Yes, Naveen.
Okay, my guess is trampoline. George Nissen was
It is
the
the
inventor of
trampoline. It is the trampoline. Very well done. Plus 20 there to you. Right? Very simple answer. Trampoline. 20 points to Naveen. I think he's back in the quiz. Let's see. Question number 14 coming up. Hitting a peak of more than 2.2 billion units sold in India in 2019, it came as a huge surprise that for a product category that many thought would do well during COVID-19 induced lockdown, the 2020 sales actually dipped, as you would see in the visual. What product, example, I don't need Lux as a brand, for example, I just need soap as a category. What was the reason for the slump in sales? So remember, I'm looking for explanations. So you can see that usually this product like really rocketed. And then in 2020, you would assume that it would go further because people were at home and would perhaps engage, quote unquote, in this activity a lot more, right? So, however, they didn't do it. So what was the reason for the slump in sales? Again, you can work this out if you think about why I would ask this. It's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question. Pranav is buzzed. Okay, he's taking his chances. No harm.
Yeah.
Go for it, Pranav.
My guess is condoms.
Okay, and why condoms?
I mean, like, obviously you stay at home and people expected a baby boom and stuff like that. So,
okay, but why did the sales then slump?
Why did it slump? People didn't have sex, is what I feel.
No, of course, but why is it that, they didn't go out there? They could have easily bought it because medical stores were open.
What was the reason for slump?
Take a guess, since you've been brave enough to buzz. Think logically that local stores were open, right? But people still didn't go out there and buy this. Apart from, it's not because of the fear of COVID, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay, one last chance before we move forward.
I'm gonna guess, like people were like basically away from, like they were like separated, so they were not able to basically engage.
Okay, no, nothing to do with that. Sorry, minus 10, right? Half chance there again, right? Let's see what the answer is. Does anybody else here want to guess from the participants? What was the reason? Pranav was right that it is the category called condoms. But what was the reason for the slump in sales? It's a marketing insight. Okay, no one guessing. Here's the answer. So Indians are usually hesitant, unfortunately still so, to buy condoms from pharmacies and pawn stalls around their homes. So they typically go like 5 kilometers away or 7 kilometers away from someone who would not know them and buy there. In fact, there's a whole set of movies that came around this during the pandemic as well. There's a short movie that came out on this as well. So before the lockdowns, most people would just buy it away from their homes. But because there was a lockdown, even though the pharmacies were open next door, they never wanted their local pharmacists to know the activity that they were engaged in. All right. So just out of shame, it's silly, but that was the marketing insight, and there was a huge slump in condom sales. Right. Moving forward, question 15. Sorry, Pranav, good answer there on first half and good thinking, but the reason wasn't right. Moving forward to 15, here we go. The Bharwad are a Hindu caste founded in the state of Gujarat in India, primarily engaged in herding livestock. So what was the elder brother called in this community? Men in Bharwad are seen wearing these turbans. There are two parts. Something Digital from 2018 still exists, also has the same look and the name, which means elder brother. What is the modern introduction from an institution that started in 1875? So what was the elder brother called? The same name is used by a modern institution or an institution for a modern introduction. And they use this look of the elder brother. No one buzzing?
So the person in the picture is the elder brother. Like that's the look of the elder brother.
As in, that's the kind of look.
Okay.
Naveen is buzzed. Okay. Anyone else? Hold on, Naveen. Okay, Naveen, go for it. No one buzzing.
The elder brother is called Motabai, and 1875 institution is the Bombay Stock Exchange. So they came up with a chatbot called Motabai, if I'm not wrong.
Perfectly right. Absolutely right. Plus 20. Beautiful answer there. Right. It is, the elder brother is called Motabai. Right. And Bombay Stock Exchange's Ask Motabai chatbot. Right. And you can see the look. It is after the traditional turban of Motabai in that community. Right. Which is how the original trading happened in People Tree, just under a People Tree originally for the Bombay Stock Exchange. Beautifully worked out. Naveen showing his class. Very well done. Let's see the scores. Jaykantan at 93. Naveen hot on his heels at 90. So this is going to be a big battle. Pranav taking half chances, but he knows, right? He can't catch up to Preetham. So might as well get to number 2. Pratyush staying safe at 10 points. Preetham way ahead, right? Even better than the corporates with some great answers in the early part of the quiz. And Shantanu still at 50. So good chance there in the corporate part for anyone to win. We've got 100 points plus another 100 at stake. All right. Here we go. Question number 16 coming up. In 2021, Amazon listed over 2,000 results for X. The ones sold on Amazon closely resemble the reality. On Google Trends, the search engine's in-house platform that tracks user interest, it's ranked a breakout search term. It's terrifying, it's comfortable, and it speaks to the culture of the moment. There's also been a 7,800% spike in sales of Y, which accompanies X. What are X and Y? Which would be also carried by Walmart after a recent deal, including other merchandise that would help consumers create crafty do-it-yourself ideas. So tell us 2 things that have had a massive spike in sales in the last 12 months. These are like the de facto things that you see, 2 objects that you see as part of this trend. There are several more now that have got added because of the popularity of something. So tell me what are X and Y. Now Walmart has the merchandising rights as well. It's a famous look from the Asia Pacific region that has become global phenomenon. Okay, Preetham has buzzed. Anybody else buzzing? No one? So Preetham, go for it.
So these are the white sneakers and the green tracksuit from Squid Game.
Absolutely right. You're the Squid Game expert. You answered Squid Game at that time as well. X is Squid Game's tracksuit, which is the green tracksuits, and Y is the Vans white sneakers from Squid Game. Plus 20 there to Preetham. Great workout there. And now these is a global phenomenon selling at some massive prices out there. So Preetham leads to 170 already. If there was really a contest between the students and corporates, Preetham would win that hands down. But remember, we've got 180 points still to go. 4 in this round and 5 that I will read out, which won't come on screen. Let's move forward. Question number 17 of the National Business Quiz Grand Finale at the Rajagiri National Business Quiz. Here you go. As part of Project Seahorse, which company sponsors the Seahorses of the World Photography Competition? Naveen is buzzed. Anybody
Okay,
else? Hold on, Naveen. Okay, Naveen, go for it.
Just taking a guess here, the company called Guylian Chocolate. So that has a seahorse as its logo.
Beautiful answer there. It is the Guylian chocolates, which are the shape of seahorses. Not just, there's no logo. Actually, all the Guylian chocolates are always in the form of a seahorse. Right? That's why they went ahead and, sponsored this. Great answer. That takes Naveen, I guess, to the lead. Plus 20 there. Very well done there, Naveen. Big battle on in the corporate part. Moving to question number 18. What is the process or technique of producing flour and cornmeal called? There's a reason I'm asking this question. I'm going to add a clue so that it's fair to everybody. This process is why an entity renamed itself after over 100 years. Jaykantan is buzzed. This is a hot battle between JK and Naveen. Both of them are buzzed. Let's go with Jaykantan first.
I'm thinking this is the pearl milling company, which got renamed because of racist associations with the previous mascot.
And what was the previous mascot? Do you remember?
I think this is Aunt Jemima.
Absolutely right. Plus 20 there. Very well done, JK. You get the full funda there, right? This is pearl milling. This whole process is called pearl milling. The technique that gave its name to the original company that created Aunt Jemima, and which in 2021 became the new name of the brand when it faced criticism for racism. So Aunt Jemima became pearl milling. So 20 points. Again, JK, I think, is back in the lead, but very, very slender lead there. Let's see the scores again for a moment. Clearly, Preetham is way ahead unless someone really comes a comeback on the student part. Shantanu at 50. And then we've got Jaykantan, if I'm right, at the 38th question at 113. Naveen at 110. This always happens at Rajagiri. Pranav, unfortunately, at minus 14. But Pranav, let's see if you can come back. Pratyush at 10. So Pratyush is simply saying, okay, Pranav will do all my work, right? And Preetham at 170 is sitting pretty out there and knows that he's pretty much won the quiz unless someone really does a massive comeback. Okay. Question number 19, hot battle on the corporate side. Question 19 coming up. During World War I, such posters appealing to patriots to lend their binoculars and spyglasses were designed by the famous marine artist Gordon Grant. After Pearl Harbor, the US Navy again found itself having to launch a similar appeal for binoculars. What was the problem that led to such appeals? Again, I'm being very clear. You need to provide an explanation. So these were just a series of ads, both in World War I and World War II, they had to do it. What was the specific reason and what was the problem they were trying to address? You have to really think of a little bit of history before you answer that. But it's a very logical, guessable answer. It's not very tough, but it's a logical, guessable answer. So they started having all their Marines start putting bands like those eye bands that you see there, simply because they knew that they can't use what they would have used otherwise under normal circumstances. So what was the reason why they couldn't use that otherwise product/brand? I'll give it a few seconds, tense moments on the corporate side. Let's see if anybody wants to buzz. Who was the question going to go to if it didn't pass? I'm closing it on the buzzer. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Who answered the last question? Does anybody remember?
I think it is JK. He was supposed to remind you.
Yeah. So JK, it's your direct, please.
Okay, you need a brand in the answer, is it? Sorry.
If you give me an explanation, because there were multiple brands involved, that's perfectly okay.
Okay. So the thing is, they at the time they needed binoculars, spyglasses for various reasons, like in submarines, in to spot the ships, spot the planes which are attacking them in Pearl Harbor. Basically, like for various reasons, they needed binoculars, spyglasses, which there was a short supply of them, and general public are asked to donate all those because the guy is wearing this thing because. Especially in the dark and all that, you need binoculars to see the periscope. Used to be used as periscope in submarines and in planes, things like that. And so you need to sort of keep your eyes dark in order to get your eyes acclimatized and start using them in the other thing. And general public were using them for other purposes at the time because the rise of aviation, the rise of other stuff.
Got that? Not in the right direction, JK. Sorry. Let's move to Shantanu. Shantanu, do you have a guess or shall I pass?
So these appeals were needed because the raw material that was needed to produce these things was in short supply. So the already existing binoculars were asked to be donated so that the government doesn't have to bear the burden of producing.
No.
Sorry?
Good guesses, but that's a very common thing, right? I was looking for something more business related here. Right, let's move to Preetham.
I'll just say that the lenses and glasses that sailors used to wear would burst when they were in submarines due to some pressure difference.
Nothing to do with any such scientific phenomenon. Right, let's move to Pratyush. Let's see, Pratyush, no negatives, so you can guess.
Yeah, so probably, the submarines, because they got submerged when they were sort of attacked during the Pearl Harbor. So those original binoculars were lost. So they wanted more.
Nothing to do with loss of those binoculars. Okay, let's move to Pranav and let's see if you can get back at least to some positive.
So I'm guessing, so a lot of these like general public were using binoculars for like say their recreational purpose, like watching baseball games and stuff like that. So
no, JK answered the same thing. I would have given it to him if that was the answer. Not really. Right. Let's move to Naveen. Naveen, you're on mute.
All right, I guess I remember Carl Zeiss coming up with some ad like asking people to donate their binoculars, maybe to use lenses from the binoculars because they had very I guess less shortage of lenses during that time, and maybe like they were asking incentives, like maybe like anybody would have donated, maybe they would have given money and also given an initiative like we will return the binoculars once the war is over or something like that.
That's okay, but what was the problem that led to such appeals? That's the question.
Yeah, the shortage of lenses, basically glasses or lenses.
Okay, shortage of lenses. Nothing to do with shortage of lenses. Okay, that is a general thing across World War. There's a shortage of so many things, right? Okay, here's the answer. Nobody gets that right. I thought you will get the business thing here. Remember that, they were at war with Germany and everything on the glass was produced by Carl Zeiss, including Bosch and Lomb, which was an American brand. They obviously didn't want a German company to be supplying all of the binoculars and glasses and so on and so forth, right? So that is what led to that whole problem. The shortage was not because Carl Zeiss couldn't produce. The shortage was because they simply didn't want, because of patriotism and all that, to import things, right, from Carl Zeiss in the first place. So even Bosch and Lomb had to get everything from Carl Zeiss only. Although they were a brand, all the lenses actually came from Carl Zeiss. So that's the answer that I was looking for. Sorry, no one gets this right? But no negatives as well, which is good news always, right? Okay, so before I go to the penultimate question and we go to the final buzzers, I want to, again, use the opportunity to thank a few people, right? Again, thank you to, Dr. Francis Sebastian, CMI, Dr. Sunil Pulyakot, Dr. Binay Joseph, Reverend Dr. Saju, of course, Professor Arun George, who's always been there, Dr. Krishnan. Thank you for your guidance. Dr. Angela Susan Matthew, you've always been wonderful, ma'am. Personally enjoy working with the three of you, Professor Arun George, Dr. Krishnan, and Dr. Angela, and the wonderful student coordinators, Jobin and Swati for being the general coordinators, Elizabeth Abraham for the project management, David Ignatius, Arun Tomi, Bharat, Kishore, Albin, and I'd forgotten one student's name, Joel Joseph, earlier, and Hari as well. So Joel, thank you for all that you do. I think everybody in the audience, whoever is watching, as well as all the participants, huge hand for these, students who made this happen flawlessly this time. Thank you very much for well done, really, really helpful. And Joel, sorry for missing your name earlier. And thank you to all our sponsors. We hopefully will be back in the offline edition. Here's the final question before we move to the final buzzer round in this format. Here we go. This startup recommends serving tea in pitchers like in the accompanying visual. It has something to do with their inspiration, which is how they started their company. Who or what was their inspiration? This is a company called the Butterfly PT, a Kolkata-based startup. Nitesh Singh and Sunil Chandra Saha. What was their inspiration? If you see their ads as well, you see these, unique sort of pictures that they give for tea, right? Because they do exotic tea and things like that. But what was their real life inspiration? Very workoutable. Got to stay woke. And to clarify, nothing to do with the Gordian knot, which I know is the theme. Okay, read the question carefully. There's a very, very big direct clue that I've given in the question. Let's have the score ticker going, team. No one buzzing. Okay, let's go for the pass. I think the last one, if I'm right, went to JK. No one answered that. So we need to go to Shantanu in the reverse round. Shantanu, over to you.
They are serving the tea in pitchers. So my guess would be the TVF series pitchers.
Okay, but why would they be inspired for a tea company?
No, not necessarily tea company. The TVF pitchers was produced by Kingfisher, so it had a beer thing. But because it says pitchers, and I can only think of that, so maybe it inspired some people to join the entrepreneurship route and carry on with that work. So I'm only
so
working
your
with the
answer is TVF pitchers
TVF pitchers,
it inspired them to go down their entrepreneurial journey.
Because they are serving the teen pitchers. That's the only working link I have.
Yeah, that's in the question. Got it. Perfect. That is plus 20 to you. Very well worked out, right? This is 10 points, sorry, not 20, plus 10 to you. The founders were inspired to don the entrepreneurial hat from the popular web series TVF Pitchers, which narrates the story of 4 friends who quit their jobs to develop their own startup, something that the founders did as well. All right. Great going there. Jaykantan there at 113, Naveen at 110, Pranav at minus 14, Pratyush at 10. I'm happy to announce the first winner of the student category of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz final, which is Preetham. So I guess he's just going to relax over the next 5 questions, and Shantanu at 60. All right. What we're going to do next is that nothing will appear on screen. We can go to the grid format backend admin team. Okay. And I have questions out here with me on my phone. Here's what we're going to do. 5 questions, 20 points apiece. However, if the key part of the question is not announced, right, I will read the question fully again for another buzz. All right. But in this case, we'll only go with the first buzzer. To be very clear, there's no sequence of buzzing. Plus 20, minus 10. But for example, if I said, what is the capital? And somebody just said some answer, right? Then obviously I'll complete it for the second time. The same person cannot buzz again. Clear to everyone? Any questions?
Are you going to be clarifying if there are multiple parts or anything like that?
Yes, I will say it upfront. I'll say it upfront, right? Please remember, always in the final 5 questions, there are always some twists. So I'd strongly recommend that, you don't go for the buzzer unless you're sure about it. Okay? Big battle on the corporate side. Can we go ahead, admin team, with the score ticker consistently going? If I'm right, JK is at 113, Naveen is at 110, and Shantanu is at 70. If I'm right, Shantanu, is that right? Let me just see the score. And on the student side,
should be 60.
Pranav and Pratyush. Okay. On the student side, Pranav and Pratyush, Shantanu is at 60. So anybody can win, right? Lots of points at stake and lots of money at stake. 50,000 for the winner, 40,000 for the runner-up, 30,000 for the second runner-up, and everyone here gets it. So student participants get 50K. So I think Preetham is already home with 50K. So congratulations, Preetham. He's clearly even left his phone saying, forget about it. Why should I bother? Right? But the battle is on for second and third place in the student category between Pratyush and Pranav. But in the corporate side, as always, there's a big battle. I remember there was a big battle last year on both sides. So here we go. First question. All set, everyone, on the buzzer? As I said, sequence of buzzer here does not matter. First to buzz. I'm looking for a brand. Which brand has the longest running, no price change, which is 5 cents, for over 70 years? They never change the price. Naveen has already buzzed first.
Okay, my guess is Coca-Cola.
It is Coca-Cola. Very, very good answer. Plus 20 there, Naveen. Coca-Cola is the right answer. They were the brand who did not change their price for 70 years. They still kept their Coca-Cola bottle for 5 cents. Imagine for 70 years, right from 1896 all the way to 1966, they carried that price. Great answer. Here's the next one. It's a term, okay, and I'm looking for what that term means. Be careful. There are multiple interpretations that people have, but this is the official interpretation of what this term in branding means. Okay? In the world of branding, what is sports washing? So you have greenwashing. Jaykantan is bust. What is sports washing?
So basically, anything controversial like the teams forcing players to take a knee in order to divert from other issues, they sort of use sports as this thing to hide their own. This, like the sponsors might be polluting companies. They might instead of focusing on that, they'll get the sponsors to do other stuff and get the good publicity that's generating out of this thing. Like for example, a mining company might promote a chess competition, something like that. Overall, using social issues to divert from sports, from the negative aspects.
Okay, so sports washing, I'll just repeat what you said so that I'm clear about what you've said, right? Is when a company who could be controversial for other reasons, as you said, right, decides to sponsor a sports event or, to divert attention from the core issue. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfectly right. Plus 20. That's what I was looking for. Very, very well answered. That's why I wanted to be very clear, because there are some other interpretations people do, right? But this is the official branding interpretation of sports washing. Plus 20 there. Great battle going on there. Again, JK leads by 3 points. Here we go. The next question. Anusha, ANUSHA, is the Chief Operating Officer of UBS in India. Okay, UBS, the bank in India. Pranav has already buzzed. Tell me the question, Pranav, because I didn't complete the question and the answer.
So I'm going to guess. So the question being, who is she the wife of, or let's say famous wife of? So she's Anusha Bhagat and she's the wife of Chetan Bhagat.
That's the right answer. Plus 20. Very well guessed, Pranav. I think you're back in the fray. Plus 6, I guess, with your score now. It is Anusha Bhagat, who, by the way, while Chetan Bhagat was at Goldman Sachs, as everybody knows, Anusha, who also, had, of course, Alia Bhatt star as Anusha, right, in 2 states, right? She also is a very, very successful business personality. She's a chief operating officer of UBS in India, right? She's obviously does not want to be known as Chetan Bhagat's wife, is very, very popular herself. Okay, so battle on in the student side as well. Okay, so we have Pranav and Pratyush. I think how many points separating the two of you? JK and Naveen have 3 points separating them. Pratyush and Pranav, let's see how much you have. Pratyush just came to the positive 6, 4 points separating you. All right, big battle on. I have a feeling that unless Shantanu, you get all 60, you will still not win. Is that right? No, you still have a chance to win. Great. Okay. All right, let's go to the next question. So little bit of an explanation that I'm going to give, and you have to tell me how this originated. Okay? So you find that something that happened in 1962 at Yale University led to the setting up of ethics review boards in companies, universities that you see very often, right? In lots of Hollywood movies as well. So what real life thing led to the setup of ethics review boards in universities and companies, thanks to something that Shantanu has already buzzed? Tell me, Shantanu.
Is it the Stanley Milgram's experiment, infamous experiment, whereby people were asked and shocks were given? So the infamous Stanley Milgram experiment, just like you have Stanford Prison experiment, prior to that we have the Stanley Milgram experiment.
That is the right answer. Plus 20. Great going. 80 points there. Very well done. This is the Stanley Milgram experiments where people were given shocks. Right? This led to ethics review boards in universities and so on. Okay, big battle on. JK at 133, Naveen at 130, Shantanu making a comeback with 80, and 4 points separating Pranav and Pratyush. And Preetham clearly sitting home and watching all the fun out there with 50,000 already in his pocket. Okay, penultimate question of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz, first solo virtual edition. Here we go. I need a little bit of an explanation. Most wine bottles are stored horizontally and not vertically. What's the, it's not a very scientific reason, but why is it done? JK has already buzzed. Yes, JK.
This is basically the cork. If it keeps, if it doesn't get wet, right, it'll sort of dry up and crack and sort of spoil the wine itself. So they'll keep it horizontally so that the cork is always wet.
Beautiful answer there. Plus 20. Beautiful answer there. So clearly JK has won the Rajagiri National Business Quiz Corporate Edition by 3 points. We still have one more question to go, right? I think, Naveen, you come in second, even if you answered the next question. So JK wins the Rajagiri National Business Quiz Corporate Edition. Congratulations, JK, for winning this. I think this time, last year, I think you got beaten, if I'm right, or you came first. I don't remember now, right? But Naveen, very well done. Coming runners up, came from behind, right? And Shantanu, very well done. Some really good answers there. So we have the winners of the corporate edition. And may I request the corporate teams and Preetham to hold on, because we still have a big battle. One question to decide: IIT Madras versus IIM Bangalore. So Pranav, if you ever wanted to study at IIM Bangalore, you won't have one sponsor for sure, which is Pratyush. So here we go. Big battle between Pranav, Pratyush to be runners up or second runners up. But congratulations to Preetham, who's already won the student edition of the 12th solo virtual edition of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz, and Jayakantan, who's won the corporate edition, followed by Naveen, followed by Shantanu. I hope, first of all of you enjoyed the quiz, but here's still the nail-biting finish. Okay. Let me try and see if I can give you a slightly simple one to break it. Otherwise, let's keep it for the tiebreaker. Just a quick reminder. After the quiz, if all the participants can please stay back, right? Just for some testimonials with the team. It'll really, really help us, right? I hope all of you enjoyed this format. I hope the interface was clean, right? And all of you, I know you're tensed, but I'm also trying to make sure that the buzzers refresh, everything is set, and so on and so forth. I'm equally tensed out here as to who's going to take home 40K versus 30K. Here we go. Two parts of the question. Okay? You need to get both. If one of you go for it and get only one, the other wins. All right? We want the country and the currency, both. This currency was named after the shortened form of Alexander the Great. Which country's currency and what was the currency? Okay. Nerves there. Big nerves with Pranab and Pratyush. No one going for it. Okay. I'm going to make it slightly more interesting. I'm going to give you the name of the currency. Tell me the name of the current country. The currency Alexander the Great is Lek, L-E-K. Pranav is buzzed. Okay, Pranav. I hope this was something that you will get or not get. Let's see.
Yeah. I want to guess Macedonia.
Not Macedonia. Sorry. Right? It is Albania that has the currency Lek. Right? I just thought you would get that. Pratyush just got it. Pratyush, did you have Albania? Or did you have a negative as well?
Would have been a negative.
It would have been a negative. Okay. Anyway, there was no follow through on this. But thank you for being honest, right? And upholding the integrity. But congratulations, Pratyush, for coming in runners up in the 12th edition of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz National Finals. Great going. Congratulations. I hope all of you enjoyed the quiz. I really enjoyed hosting this from India for, I think, a while. Hopefully, I'll be back and invited by the Rajagiri National Management team out there. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all the viewers online. I really enjoyed doing this and I continue to enjoy doing this. And one last thanks to Shrikant, who's my good friend always, who does guinea pigging, giving me questions, improving my questions, and so on and so forth. So thank you, Shrikant, who's out there watching, I think, on YouTube. Thank you very much, all participants, and back to you, to the Rajagiri National Management team. Have fun, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye. Thank you all. Maybe all of you can please stay back for some of the videos that have been there. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. We could take maybe a photograph if all of you are okay and just smile. Done. And maybe participants, could you speak a bit and they could record your experience and so on and so forth, right? Maybe we can go with the winners first. Jaykantan, if you want to go with the corporate quiz part, right? Say nice things about me and so on.
It was a nerve-wracking experience, Mitesh, especially the buzzers and everything. It was very tense. Thankful that I was able to win, and a great lot of congratulations to all of you who have made it to the finals, and congratulations to Preetham as well. Thank you. Wonderful quiz.
Thank you, Jaykantan. Right, let's move to the runners-up of the Rajagiri National Business Quiz Corporate Edition. Let's go to Naveen Kumar, who actually, I think, comes in last year. Naveen, you weren't there in the online edition, is it?
No, I won in 2019.
You won in 2019 alone, right? I remember with your, of course, you had a teammate, but I know how you had smashed everything, but we still came to the last round, right? But Naveen, how was the experience?
It was a really good experience. And by the way, this is one quiz which I look out for, and that is because of you and maybe and even Shrikant. Like this one, I participate for the content more than anything else. This is considered to be one of the best. Yeah, and I would recommend you to do 2-3 more quizzes in a year, just than only one.
I wish I could, right? You could speak to Google for that, right? But, yes, I would actually, on this particular quiz, I have another 150 questions. We are doing one more quiz for everybody, as they know, right? We're doing the Indo-US Pacific quiz, and we'll come back. That's a very elaborate format, right? We'll come back to you later in the year. In 2022, we're going to host that. So we'll have 2 quizzes. Hopefully, if I conduct both, right, I'll try and bring in the same quality. Thank you, Naveen, for being very kind. Shantanu, over to you. You being part of IIM Ahmedabad, right? Sometimes people confuse you to be a student participant, but well done. This is the second year in a row I'm seeing you, and very well done. Some great answers, Shantanu. What was your experience like?
Hi, thanks, Mitesh. This was my 3rd attempt at Rajagiri, first time in the finals. I really enjoyed, despite coming 3rd. So, although you conduct only one quiz throughout the year, but it is definitely worth the wait. I look forward to the next quiz as you have announced. I had a really great time, some great fun days, and great answering by everybody on board. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Shantanu, and we'll continue to see you next year, hopefully in the physical edition as well. Let's move to the students' side. We had Preetham, who was sitting tight like halfway through the quiz from IIT Bombay, the Shailesh J. Mehta School of Management. Preetham, when do you get to the corporate side?
Yeah, in a few months. So, yeah, I think, this is effectively my goodbye to the student side. Swan song. Yeah, but I think overall a great experience is always, like you said, the Rajagiri hospitality in its physical form we missed out, but I think the students themselves, they keep it up as much as possible in the virtual thing by ensuring that they are always in touch, and everything is in place, right, so that the quiz can go smoothly like it did today. So yeah, really grateful to all of them for continuing to do this, and of course, it's pretty much your only quiz of the year, so it's always a pleasure looking at a quiz that's unlike other quizzes in terms of content where a lot of domains are spanned, but the core you know the core idea of business remains. So it's always fun trying to correlate stuff from various topics into business. So yeah, it was a great experience overall.
Thank you, Preetham. Very kind, and congratulations again. I think you are perhaps the only person I know, and the Rajagiri folks can, really tell me, who's actually won this quiz 4 times in a row. I think JK had the record for 3 times in a row, if I remember right. JK, correct me. But I think 4 times in a row, you've beaten that record too. I don't know if you've started being called, nicknames like, which have some takeoff on Jayakanthan, right? But I won't embarrass you on that part. I just think that you are so good yourself that we don't need to, call you any other names. But congratulations on creating that record out there in terms of winning the Rajagiri National Business Quiz 4 times in a row, right? And I hope you're going to come back and give JK, Naveen, Shantanu, and all the others a big, shout out. And if you are by any chance working internationally, you have the option to take part in the US Indo-Pacific quiz as well, right? So very well done. Preetham, congratulations. Let's move to Pratyush, who had a nerve-wracking moment out there from IIM Bangalore. I know he was there in the finals last year too. So Pratyush, a few words from you.
Yeah, so I think first of all, congratulations to all the winners and the Rajagiri team for stupendously putting this event, year after year. And having you as a quiz master, I think embodies how sort of biz quizzing has probably also evolved over years, where it's not just about brands, but a lot more in terms of good fundas, which even like gen quizzers like me would love. And yeah, from personally, I think last year from coming third in the student category to coming second this year, so it's been one step up. And as they say, slow and steady might not win you the race, but there are no losers here.
If you are a student still, Pratyush, next year, remember Preetham's moving to the corporate side. So either you compete with Preetham on the corporate side, or you go back and have the opportunity to win, right? But you always have Pranav at your heels. So Pranav, over to you from IIT Madras. Congratulations. You took a lot of half chances, but I love the spirit with which you answer, right? You wish that there were only one part of the question, right? Right and many times. But congratulations, Pranav, and great spirit there. Back to you to hear some words from you.
Yeah. So again, like Rajagiri is like one of the quizzes everyone wants to at least like finish in the podium. And in 2019, I had the chance to visit the campus and participate in the finals. I couldn't go to the national finals, so I'm very excited that I managed to come to the finals. And as usual, like the questions are damn good in terms of the fundas and also the wide variety of topics that are being covered. And unlike other like traditional business quizzing, this is like more like, say, anyone can participate in it. So I think that is also a really inviting aspect of the Rajagiri business.
Thank you, Pranav. Thank you for those kind words, right? Really appreciate everybody being so kind, right? This is goodbye and good luck from Mitesh. Also, very quickly, I'm moving from Bangalore to Singapore in a few hours, actually, right? So I'll hopefully see you, if it's virtual, over virtually. Otherwise, see you on a physical format if RNBQ team decides to invite me again next year. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot to everybody who's taken part. Please stay back for the valedictory. Back to the RNBQ admin team.
distinguished guests, the captain of the ship, Mr. Mitesh Agarwal, our dear participants, faculty coordinators, Professor Arun George, Dr. Angela Susan Matthew, Dr. Kristen Chandramohan, and team of Rajagiri NBQ. Good evening to one and all. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Rajagiri NPQ and the entire fraternity of management of Rajagiri, extend a very hearty gratitude to each one of you. First of all, I would like to thank the Director, Reverend Dr. Jose Courier at CMI, Rajagiri Group of Institutions, for his presence and support throughout this journey. On behalf of the entire institute, I would like to thank Mr. Mitesh Agarwal, CTO of Google Cloud, Southeast Asia, and partners APAC. Sir, without your presence and relentless effort, this could have been impossible. Next, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Reverend Father Francis Sebastian CMI, Assistant Director, Rajagiri Valley Campus, Dr. Sunil Puliyakot, Director, Rajagiri Business School, Dr. Binoy Joseph, Principal, Rajagiri College of Social Sciences, and Reverend Dr. Saju MT CMI, Associate Director, Rajagiri College of Social Sciences and Rajagiri Business School, Vice Principal, Rajagiri College of Social Sciences, for their constant support and guidance. I would also like to thank the faculty coordinators, Professor Arun George, Dr. Angela Susan Matthew, Dr. Kristen Chandramohan, student coordinators, and the support staff, and the entire team of Rajagiri NBQ. Without the coordinated effort, this would have never happened. Once again, a big thank you.